Hi, welcome to the Stocking Knit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as J Knitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run Knit. And this is episode 182.
Ooh,
yes. Nice even number. Mm-hmm. What have you been up to?
My cat got a new nickname, Yarn Butt.
Okay.
I can give you one guess how we got this name.
This is the Pivot, the
Yes.
yarn eating cat?
Yes. I pulled a significant length of string out of his butt, and I went, oh my gosh, I am so glad that this came out clean.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, gross.
Totally gross.
Yuck. So, yeah, Yarn Butt. Let's see. Everything that went catastrophically wrong last week is all fixed up.
Cool.
So yeah, we have new tires on the car, a new motherboard in our dryer. It was quite the week. And then I'm trying to think, there was fun stuff. Oh, our friend had a soft opening for the brewery.
Mm-hmm.
So I had posted on Instagram that I was really excited about his opening. Well, that particular one that I posted about got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Having a dickens of a time with permits and stuff.
Yeah. So this weekend we actually got through the soft opening, which was really fun. And I might go again this week to help with the soft opening again. Because they're trying.
Or the actual opening, not the soft opening.
Well, I think that they're still
softly opening?
Yes. They haven't announced on their Facebook page that they're open yet, I think is the definition right now. Like, they haven't widely announced that they're open. But they're trying to let momentum, word of mouth, kind of direct people into the soft opening, give them a chance to say, like, okay, we're not quite ready yet. But everything tasted great. They even had homemade sodas. I tried the honey lemonade, which was very tasty. And I plan on trying a different one the next time I'm in there. A soda sounds good.
Yeah.
And then I got a sampler of the beers. And the ones that I tried, I really liked Karma and Inspiration. And don't ask me what the styles were. I'm just happy I remembered the names.
No, Jeremy said he liked Fun.
Oh, yeah, that's a wheat.
Yeah, and that somebody else had, I can't remember. Yeah, they were interesting names.
Mm-hmm.
But cool that we know somebody that opened a brew pub.
Yeah, following my dreams and such.
Yeah, I asked him at one point what it was like turning his hobby into a not hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, whether or not you're a yarn dyer or a designer or a podcaster, that sometimes, you have to take a hard look at when you do that, right? You take something that's a hobby and you kind of step it up a notch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you need to make sure that you're still having fun when you're doing it.
Yes.
So, my husband and I, the only thing notable that I could think of since we recorded last Tuesday was that my husband and I got a babysitter. We don't have any family locally,
right?
Same here. Which would help a lot with being able to do like dates. And so we went out and had sushi and went to that soft opening, and then we went and saw Trainwreck, which is really cute. It's kind of like a hybrid of one of those like Superbad type, the movie Superbad type, kind of crude humor, Judd Apatow crude humor, and then like a romantic comedy, like a sappy romantic comedy. So I thought that there were parts that were really funny for my husband, and then there were at the end especially, I was like, it's just super cute.
Yeah.
That some, people love each other enough to and show, the realization that they love each other, that they want to be together.
Yeah, on the scale of sappy is my, the one that I think is the sappiest right now in my head is the Never Been Kissed with Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
I don't know why that one's just even more sappy. I think it's because she had never had a relationship, but she was kind of stuck in her youth, mentally, and how it helped.
Yeah, but it's good. I mean, I don't know. We don't do enough of that. Like, I feel like as a parent, my spouse gets to see me be a parent a lot. Mm-hmm. Like the telling the kids what they should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing, and it was nice to get to see each other in a different light, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
That was my realization. Like, oh, this is nice.
Tomorrow I plan on riding some roller coasters.
Oh, okay.
Being a child at heart.
With the kids.
Yeah, with the kids.
That was fun when I was with my kids.
Trying not to get carried away and ride something I know I'm going to regret.
Yeah.
Like, I like roller coasters, but anything spinny, let them do that themselves, because otherwise Mom will be out of commission, like laying on a bench going, I'm too hot, I'm dizzy.
Yeah. It's, so both of you will do roller coasters with the kids?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We infused that fun in them early. Like, I don't know, it was very important to me that both my kids really liked roller coasters.
Yeah, I don't know that it's important to me that they like roller coasters, but I think it's important to me that they see that I'm waxing not nostalgic, but sentimental again here, but that they see that you're not afraid of it and that it's fun to try new things. And, like I remember growing up that my mom didn't ride roller coasters, and like to me it was like, I wonder what's going on there. Is she scared? She just doesn't like that. Like I want my kids to be willing to at least try it. And my mom probably has tried it and found out that she didn't like it, and then that's fine. Like you were saying, if it ruins the rest of her experience at the park, then it's probably not worth it. But
I just have to tell the kids, like, nope, that's not a mom ride.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, I don't like the ones that make you dizzy either.
Yeah, the Scrambler is the only one I can tolerate because that's, the movement is really back and forth, and it just happens to go around in the back and forth, so I can handle that. Like, I don't know.
I don't know what the Scrambler is, but it's fine.
Okay.
You don't have to describe it. I was just saying.
It's got 3. And they move like a star pattern, I believe. I have never looked at, but it's basically the movement is back and forth, and you're kind of forced next to your neighbor during it. But I don't know. I never feel like it's not like, oh, there they go again. Oh, there they go again. It's more like, hey, you're close, you're far, you're close, you're far, and you are making a circle.
Like Elmo, near, far, near. Or was it Elmo or Grover?
It was Grover. Well, when we were growing up. I don't know. Maybe Elmo redid it since then.
Could be. All right, we've got some Administrati.
We do.
And last week, I think I remember I talked about Adventureland way too long. So, we got the Nasty Cow going on. We gave away some yarn, and we've got a whole nother month. Welcome to August here. That I wanted to remind folks that they should go out and enter. Make sure, again, that it's a yarn that you would knit socks out of, and it's self-striping, and it's not a sock. Those are the 3 criterion. And speaking of 3 criterion, we were a little lax in getting out our ZK fantastical
fun fictional
excuse thread, again in 3s, a 3-pronged thesis, if you would. And
we will accept stranger than fiction. So if you have a fantastical story that's true, awesome.
Okay.
But I don't want to hear that you stubbed your toe.
Yeah. That would be a bummer. But not a fantastical, fun excuse. Fictional excuse. And did you put a date on when that ended?
Nope, I said TBD.
Okay. So probably end of August-ish.
Excellent.
August-ish. Yep. If we're being exact. And then we had the self-striping, the July self-striping. So I pulled out a bag and some yarn. So the bag is a Silver Shed USA, nice little sock sack.
It's a shawl, actually. It's a bigger one.
Oh, shawl sack.
Yeah. Sock sacks are really tiny.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that they had. I was thinking that you would knit socks out of it, but you could knit a shawl.
Knit anything. This is just a lot taller.
Not a self-striping.
The sock sack is like tiny.
Okay.
I don't know where. I don't think I have one with me, but.
And then we have Dancing Dog Dye Works, the Twist Sock Luxe, which is her MCN base, 100 yards in the Love You Too colorway stripe. And there were 1,133 entries, which would delight our friend Josh to know in. An 11 and then a multiple of 11. And so the winner 2 through 1133 was the bag is 122, which is Debbie G. And Debbie knit a hat. It's a very fun hat. Very stripy, fantastic. She must have knit something that had a little thicker stripes, or had yarn that had a little thicker stripes, because they were pretty thick. Even in the hat, yeah. And then the yarn goes to 885, which is Ray. And she knits socks, or Ray knits in Washington. So Ray knits in Wa, if you're reading it in, and she knits in socks. So that's Ray. And do you want to take these? Sure. Contact Amy, Ray, and Debbie about your self-striping funness. And then for August, I thought it would be fun. I pulled out of our self-striping pile 716 Knit. This is her I'm the Pushy Queen of Slut Town colorway. And since Amy's knitting a shawl out of her self-striping, I thought it might be fun with the Nasty Cow that this is going to be the August self-striping KL prize. So get your entries in. What else do we got going on? Oh, we got some Colinette Jitterbug, which I recently pulled out of my my stash, some that I got in Stillwater. And then I remembered that Knit Ventures sent us some, so the fantastic folks at Colinette sent us some yarn to knit with and to give away. So my colorway here that I got in Stillwater at Darn It Anyway is Dusk. And I think it's kind of like a, maybe a gloomier gamut. It's very kind of gamut-esque.
Less purple.
Yes. I might knit some man socks out of these. And then Amy picked a beautiful purple, iridescent purple. Something Tina, Florentina.
Oh, Florentina. Yeah,
it's stamped on there.
The stamp didn't go all the way.
Yeah. So pretty. And then we will be giving away the winner's choice of Caramel or Forest. And so Amy and I, my math brain isn't working very well. I haven't been sleeping very well at night, so had a very philosophical conversation, not philosophical, mathematical conversation in which I had my numbers mixed up. But this is 150 grams for 400 yards. So it's the same number of yards in a typical skein, but it's heavier. So yeah, it's a heavier weight yarn.
It's a beefier sock.
Yes. As you mentioned, I would recommend doing like twos. What does it say on here? 3.125 millimeter is the needle size recommended for 27 stitches for 10 centimeters. Okay. Is the gauge that is listed on there. So super pretty. Can't wait to knit mine up. But yeah, almost sport weight yarn in chews is definitely a good candidate for my husband. With his Sasquatch feet. So thank you to the Colinette folks, and we'll post a drawing out there. I think it would be fun to hear about which one you would choose and what you would knit with it. Okay. And if you have any experiences with it, I know that Jocelyn said that it's one of her favorite sock bases. So fun. Lots of giveaways. Things to give away.
Excellent.
Yes, I love it. I love sharing with folks.
I love sharing.
Sharing's fun.
It's like smiling. It's my favorite.
Yep. I love to sing. Singing's my favorite. Oh, and then I was going to mention, I am going to, speaking of giving away things, I'm going to be at Stitches Midwest starting on Thursday, and I will have some of our zipper pulls.
I will not be there, just saying.
Some of our zipper pulls, so come up and say hello if you know me. I don't necessarily know you from the other side of the camera, but come up and say hello. And then I'll also have, probably not a ton of them, but some of my designer cards that have free pattern codes on them. So definitely stop by and say hello. And I'll post that out on Instagram and hashtag it as well, just to make sure people stop me and ask for swag. Because I love meeting people. I'm not there incognito.
Maybe you'll have to like post a picture of your outfit for the day with like a card and a thing.
Come and get it.
This is what I look like today.
Yeah, I'm not there incognito. I like to meet people. So definitely come up and give a hello. Give a hello. Give a hello. Give a hello. Yes, yes.
Just
all right.
To say hello. Okay, so I have 2 finished objects.
Woo! She's in finished. Finish it.
So I have my Cabernet cowl out of Spud and Chloe sweater in a lovely red colorway. And I don't know, I've knit this pattern before. I liked it then, I like it now.
Is it written?
I like it always.
Or is it?
I believe when you buy the pattern, you are given several weights.
Okay.
Or you have the choice of buying just one weight, and then you can kind of scale up the pattern to buy all the weights. I bought all the weights, so I can knit this. It has the cast-ons and, like, I think that they're separated into, like, DK worsted and fingering sport, maybe. Anyway. So it has all of the cast-ons for each of the, so they have like a cowl fit and an infinity scarf fit, and then measurements for each of those. So yeah, I really like the pattern. I love the stitch motif, and I didn't block this, but I can kind of give it a stretch and show you, like, if I chose to block it, it would just make them a little bit more hexagonal in nature. And cute.
Very pretty. Good use of that outer.
It's sweater, but
sorry, sweater.
That's what I meant. It's a cotton merino blend, and the cotton was. I think my next one I want to do just a nice merino or something. I don't know. I did a hand spun the first time, and it was a little odd to work with. I think I overspun it for the pattern. And then this one was cotton, so I think I'd like to give it a go in like just a dream, a pleasure, like something like, oh, I really love the hand of this yarn, and just go with that one. But there's that.
So you're going to have Deja-Queuing with that?
Oh, yes. So this is my second Deja-Queuing, and I will do this again.
I'll be doing another one.
No, I won't like immediately cast on. I don't think that I'm in the mood to immediately go back into it, but I like this pattern enough that I will come back to it again and again and again throughout my knitting life.
Is that going to anybody specifically?
No, it's going in the Christmas pile.
That's what I thought. That's why I asked.
Yeah, it's the Christmas pile. And this is my Typhoon out of 716 Knits yarns. This was our birthday kit colorway one year, and then I had her dye a pink to match that, and I love it.
Yeah, has it been blocked?
This is blocked.
Okay.
And ready to go. So all the points kind of ripple. You can block those points however you want. I liked the ripple effect. I did notice that the way that I bound off, it was a little tight. So it just made blocking it very specific. Like I had to do it a certain way if I wanted to get that ripple look. So I think that if I were to do this again, I would probably go up a partial needle size or a needle size when I was casting off, or at least be more mindful of being a little looser on that cast off. Because it is garter, it stretches so well everywhere else, but not on the cast off.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, the cast off, it's very clean, it's very pretty, and again, it made the blocking very specific, but otherwise, not really an issue with it.
Yeah, I noticed that on my color affection on the edges as well. That garter is so stretchy that if you're not super loose on the edges, it can get a little, where it feels a little taut.
Yeah, and so this is definitely, I don't know. I liked the way the ruffle turned out, so there was no reason to redo it. I think that it worked out splendidly. And you can see that I even got my zigs to zag. Here I go one direction, and then the other, and then back the other direction, and then this way. So I like it. I think that that's how it's supposed to be, reading the pattern, but I've seen others that they all went one direction, and I kind of like that mine kind of do a ziggy zag down the...
Yep.
But anywho, and I was knitting this in front of a really inquisitive girl at the horse stables, and she said, you have holes in your sewing, because she couldn't call it knitting to save her life. She's always sewing. She's got holes in your sewing. Oh yes, I put those there on purpose. Why? Full of questions.
Young Megan.
Yes, young Megan.
Couldn't understand why you would ever put holes in your knitting.
Yeah, why would you? And her mom sewed her socks, and I looked at her socks, and they were commercially made socks, for sure, but cute. Because she first claimed that she had done it, and I said, really? I don't believe you. She's like, no, really, it was my mom. Just a little fibber.
Well, or maybe she just wanted to have something to talk to you about, right?
Oh yeah, but I don't know, adorable. I don't know how old she is, like somewhere between 4 and 6. Just go with that. She's a petite little girl, so I don't know if she's just old for, talkative and older for her age, or that really was her age.
Yeah.
But that's it. Finished objects 2-2. Woohoo! It felt big to me.
Yeah. You didn't have that Chardonnay. What is the cowl pattern name? Cabernet in your on Ravelry, or your whip count would have went down.
It's there.
Oh, really? Is it buried? I couldn't find it when I was looking for show notes. Is it in with the other one? Maybe?
I swear it's there, because it's like needles that look like this, and there's a red thing under it.
Okay.
Is the picture. So yeah.
It must have been a long enough standing whip that I couldn't find it.
It's at the top of mine, but
sorry for everybody that I've been slacking on the show notes. Apparently she does have a project page, and I just couldn't
That's okay.
find it.
Now it'll have pictures, like better pictures, not just like, I think it was during Lucy's soccer, so it's like a clover field with like my needles crossed and like just about that much of the pattern. But
woot woot. I finished August's Hidofude, so I have 8 of the 12 complete. This is the that I absolutely love, the Miss Babs Katahdin, the BFL washed up, super nice.
What color are you gonna get at stitches
to replace it? I don't know, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, because I've been looking at my next, or I've got Sally's coming up, and then I've been looking for the other 3. And like in the grand scheme of things, I think this skein was like in the 60s or 70s. Maybe it was more than that. Maybe it was like 80. If I went out.
No, I think I saw the tag. It was 70.
So I got 400 yard skeins worth, which would be well more than that if you got like a $24 or $25 per skein fingering out of it. So a really good deal for that amount of yardage, and all in one string. I did do alternating of skeins, and notable on this one, I made it longer. So it's kind of a little bit of an optical illusion when you're holding it up like this, because the width kind of makes it look like it's not as long. But
it is super long.
Yeah, it's super long. There's 120 repeats, which is kind of how I measure the length versus 120 rows, rather than the number of repeats, because I do where they all expand, and then I do those rows less often. So it is quite long. I'm gonna try to stand next to you. And the sleeves are quite long, but it's I guess I can wear it. It's not meant for me, but I really like it. I really like this color. It looked different just bringing it in from the dining room into here. It's just got a plays with the light. Yes, it's a chameleon of Heat Over Days. And super excited to give it to its intended recipient here in short order.
Will you be seeing them this weekend then?
I think I will.
Cool.
It's not to spoiler alert. No spoils.
No. You're going to see a lot of people this weekend.
I am going to see a lot of people this weekend, but I love it. The BFL is so nice. So nice. I think that's all I had to say about that. I made it longer.
Excellent.
It's a wider one. It's, yeah, I kind of got to the end where I was having a little bit of I've knit this a lot fatigue. But as I mentioned, it's a labor of love. I do look forward to giving it to the people, and in the grand scheme of things, if it were like stockinette, like if I were knitting Viajange for people, it would be like, because some of them are similar amount of yards, right? Or a Nouveau or something. Yeah, I mean the lace, at least I think I can do the lace now. I think I start going into the lace mode with other things now because my brain is so good at swapping it in and out. Just do that in my sleep.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I am working on my second story tee. I have added quite a few inches to it since the last time you saw it, and hopefully we'll get through one side this week and start up the next.
Who's we? Who else is working on it? Just you?
I.
Okay.
The royal we.
Sorry.
Me and the mouse.
I just thought it was funny. Hopefully we get through. Like, oh, who's we? Or am I helping? Who's helping?
Yeah, the royal we.
Okay.
Me and my mouse in the pocket thing.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no, it's fun that you've gotten to where the stockinette is
Actually
moving across.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it looks more predominant than it used to, for sure.
And
yeah. So that's 24 inches of go before you can do anything else.
But then it's done, right?
Yes, it's very close to being done at that point. I think you have like a smidge more of like shaping.
Yeah, when you were sitting there with Chaz in your lap, it was like, oh, that kind of matches Chaz. It's a little bit more bright, but it's a Chaz.
It does. Okay, so I've also given a lot of love to many other projects, so I will show those in short order. So I added probably another inch to this here, and I'm enjoying it. And this is a project where I think I might cast on the sleeves here, just to get a few more color work happiness in, and then just set them aside for a while I knit up the body. But I believe that I'm like half an inch from needing to do some shaping, so that'll probably get some attention just because I'm so close to doing something different. And I got another ball ready because I'm getting close, and yeah, I'm excited to keep going on sweaters here. I've had a lot of accessories gone, so let's do some sweaters. And then let's see, this is the sock, the community knitting, expanding community. Yes, I corrected myself quickly. In the 716 colorway. So cool. So this is, the back side is kind of doing a neat striping pooling thing, And then the front is looking a little bit more consistent. We'll see if that wraps around and does something different here shortly.
I love it. That makes me happy.
Yes, I'm so very happy. I'm still at the point where I don't have to decide whether or not it's going to be tube socks. So at some point it might just start to do some ribbing on the bottom part to make it into tube socks, but I haven't decided yet. I'm a little,
wishy-washy.
Yeah, wishy-washy. That's right. Like, I could go that way. I don't know.
You could go with this, or you could go with that.
But it seems stretchy enough that it should accommodate doing just the ribbing on the back and be able to fit around the heel. So maybe I'll ask Lucy if she wants it to be tube socks again.
Has she been wearing her other ones?
Trying to remember what her other ones look like. I think that.
I mean, it is summer, so she's probably not been wearing them at all, but before.
I made tube socks for Justin. I can't remember what tube socks I would have made for her. Anyway.
It is without fail that my son will put his static zings on, and he will put the zinging part on the bottom. And I try not to feel too bad, though, because he still puts his left foot on his left foot in his right shoe and his right shoe in his left foot. So it's not that the socks aren't obviously a certain way. It's just that. I guess if they did have the heel bend, or the turn, right, then it might be a little more obvious which side is up, but which way is which.
Then again, some kids never pay attention to that stuff and just, let's go. This is unimportant. I'm just going to put it on and we're going. And then I cast on, so I asked on Instagram about some color combinations for Beach Please. And I was going to put this with a gray, but then I just ultimately decided to go with the two yarns that were the same base. So I have red and teal. It's kind of a cherry red, so like a brighter red, and a teal, but a deep teal, that are both Madtosh lace. So I think I'm going to go with they're the same base. And then knit this into a bonnet. So this is Daisy Knits peach or peaches or peachy colorway. It's very peach-tastic. You get the pit and then little lighter bits and some of it that looks like it could be the skin. Anyway, I've been looking at it. Yes, it is sparkly. That's another thing. I was like, it's different base and only sparkles. You know, if I put it in stripes, the sparkles wouldn't be as pow. But, what was I going to say? I'm a little bit nervous about the variegation. I did look up a few of these in variegated, and I saw that we even had some friends who had knit it in variegated. So I was at least appeased enough to keep knitting and see if I can get like a good section of fabric and then decide. Because I don't mind. I mean, this is very much like Zen knitting. It's just in the round. It's knitting. I don't need to think about it at all. And if I get through the 4 inches of Zen and I have to rip it out, I have to rip it out. I will be okay with that. But it's the only way to figure it out, because I could swatch it all day long and it won't look like the same thing because I have this circumference.
Yeah.
And that's a different cadence.
Yep.
As it were. So we gotta figure out what it's gonna look like.
And I've had a few people ask me about Beach Please. I was initially going to try to write it up and get it out to test knitters immediately after ZK, and then upon further thought, I was kind of like, no, I'll have it be like a March, spring of 2016 thing. So I still want to get it out to test knitters. It just won't be available to the masses after I get all of my test knitter feedback. So I look for that coming up. Got lots of things going on between planning our next retreat and the birthday kits. I've had a few people ask about the birthday kits, that they hadn't heard details on that yet about when the signups were going to be, so that's still in the works, but we've got that going on, and yeah, lots of things that I need to wrap up and put a pretty bow on. And writing that pattern up just hasn't taken priority, so #excuses. But,
well, and you design it in the summer, and then it comes out in the fall, and then nobody wants to knit it until spring. So you just might as well push it off your plate so that you don't have to worry about it, and then have it available for when people are like thinking spring.
Yep, when you're thinking beach, please.
Yes, beach, please. It's so flipping cold here.
Yep, yep. And you've knit enough sweaters and worn enough sweaters that, like big winter sweaters, that you're ready to start. Kind of like our dreaming of, what was that? Dreaming?
Wishing of warmer weather.
There we go. Wishing of warmer weather. Because we're a big fan of alliteration. I'm going to try to get myself here to a place where I can stop. After I finished my Hinopure, I immediately cast on another Vacillate but this one is going to be a top. This is Jill Draper Make Stuff in the Esopus colorway, or Esopus base. And the colorways, do I have them in here? Probably not all that important, but they're fun names, aren't they? Esopus, Purple Sapphire, and Chlorophyll. And I've had some issues. I'm adapting a shawl pattern motif into a top, and I have my 500 yards of kind of a light fingering. I think the shawls call for 400 and some of each color. And I knit the other one in wool mice, which has really beefy skeins, so like 510 yards, I think, was the pure, and then the other one, the twin, one of them was only 510, the lighter blue. And so I provisionally cast on here and worked a pattern, a repeat and a half, and then I provisionally cast on again and worked another pattern and a half, and then I came in and used German short rows to fill in where it was biased and dipped. I thought about doing it on the onset, but it was easier to fill in visually after it was already biased than it was to start out. Just like my own personal, it's easier to do this after the fact, going the opposite direction, than it was to try to get the V's in the right orientation from the get-go. And then I 3-needle bound off on both sides here, and then did a couple of rows for the neck, and I wanted to get that done so that I would know how much yarn I had for the rest of it. Unfortunately, that pattern and a half was going to be a very gapy armhole, so you would see like my bra if you were looking from the side, almost like a muscle tee. The sleeves themselves would kind of block it a little bit, but they were very deep. But that was only, I was willing to let that go. I was telling Amy, I kind of have when 2 things pile up, then I think about, ripping it out. And so the second thing was I got to where I had about a repeat underarm, so about another 4 inches underarm, and I weighed the green ball, which is the one that, because I've done all of this, it was deteriorating, and I did the same thing underarm. I filled in the V's and then bound off. I had 30 grams left, and I had weighed it after I got done with the armhole, or the bind off underarm, and so that would have gotten me 2 more repeats, which would have been 8 inches. So I would have had 8 inches underarm, and then 6 here, but it just wasn't it was going to be kind of a cropped top. So again, did all the math, kind of figured out that this armhole didn't need to be as gapy. That was an issue, and that was eating up a lot of yarn because there's 2 extra repeats per sleeve per side. So 8 extra repeats so then I went back, redid it, and also took it in because it was a little loosey-goosey on the bottom as well, and that 7 stitches per side times 4 was 28 stitches, which is a big difference. And that's about 4 inches, so it went from, and it was really tight. and I could see the increase holes when I was trying it on, and I was like, oh, I don't like that. So I've ripped it back twice now. I also was putting a pearl stitch under the kind of as a faux seam, and it was looking like I had seamed it poorly, not that it was very like a faux seam that made it look like I had seamed it well. Hi, sir. I want to touch Amy's shoulder too. He's like, what do you have on your hand that you want to touch Amy's shoulder? Anyway, so I would have been done with this. It would have been a cropped shop, but I chose to have it right rather than finished, rather than or correct rather than finished. So, and now the sleeves look really thin, but they do block out quite deep. Mm-hmm. So, and this has been on peg many a time. I tried it. You do that thing where you're in denial and you just keep knitting. And you're like, oh no, it's going to be totally fine. Cue like ripping out a day's worth of work, where I was like, why, when I just kind of figured out that I was trying it on and it felt tight across my bust, did I not go, let's just rip out the few rows that you've already got done? Mm-hmm. Why do you add a day's worth of knitting in there and then decide to rip it out? And I've only done that twice. It's okay. I'm going to be okay. I still love it. I kind of want to put it into timeout. Mm-hmm. But I was hoping before all this that I could get it done in time for stitches. But now I don't know if that's going to happen.
Who's driving?
I would want to block it because there are, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of dimpled up here where I filled in the bias, and I use German short rows, and I really love German short rows. German short rows are super cool. Mm-hmm. Go out and YouTube it. German short rows. Yo. Awesome. But yeah. Hopefully it will be, so it's now wider. It's the same width again, but shallower armholes. So I've cut out a lot of fabric that was going to be wasted here and can be added to the bottom. And it's going to be the length that it's going to be, because I'm not going to try to get yarn that matched it, or it's 1,000 yards should be enough to make a substantial one of these. When I held up my other one, it seemed like it was big enough. So anyway, the trials and tribulations of doing your own thing. And I told Amy I have written down hardly anything of what I've done. I wrote down cast on 175. And that is all that I have written down. But I do recommend this pattern. It's for as much as I have re-knit this section over and over again, I'm still very much enjoying it. It's kind of got the allure of a self-striping. They're kind of do-it-yourself stripes, but it's very fun to see the fabric take shape. I mean, it's kind of almost like painting with yarn, right? I'm creating a motif with my yarn here. And then I've got that yarn, that the Colinette Jitterbug, that will be socks that I'll probably work on. I downloaded a brioche hat pattern, and I'll have to link it in the show notes because the name isn't coming to me right now. That I thought about working on, but I do think I'll just make some socks.
Yeah, I have a brioche cowl pattern that I'm excited to work on. I even have the yarn balled up, so I just have to find where that is and get ready to cast on. Although now I have 2 brioche cowl patterns in my queue that I'm not sure which one I want to do anymore.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
My static zing is not brioche. It is definitely, there are no brioche slips and brioche knits in it, but it kind of creates that texture. It has left me hankering, wanting to actually knit brioche. Yep. That and all of the Stephen West patterns that are all over my Instagram.
Oh, yes.
Exploration Station and Brioche-alicious, and yeah.
I was thinking of a static zine hat, though. Because I do have some self-striping leftovers from my twixt my nether's whatever.
A solid with it?
Yeah. Well, the extremely bright yellow. Yeah. High vis.
Okay, there
for
we go.
sure.
Yeah. Oh, you mean that you knit the socks out of? Literally, that combo. Okay. Yeah.
That combo in a hat.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the hat that I made, but I just didn't. The self-striping on self-striping, like I said, kind of just created a motif. It wasn't as noticeable that it was self-striping. So.
Yeah, and these are thin enough stripes. It might not translate. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, with a solid.
Yeah.
We'll see. Thank you. All right. We are here at the end of the podcast, and we are going to be reviewing, as we mentioned, and we'll also be giving away a digital copy of Elizabeth Doherty's top-down Reimagining Set-in Sleeve Design. And so they gave us this very nice pattern book. I really enjoy it. I like the content intermixed with kind of the lookbook type. So if you wanted to sit and actually read something, you could. Or if you wanted to flip through it like it was a magazine and kind of just brainlessly go, oh, pretty knitting, you could as well. Elizabeth is Bluebee Studio, and that's bluebeestudio.com, and she did this with Quince and Co. Their yarns look magnificent throughout. I would say this is a very good advertisement for their yarns because all of the stitch definition really pops. It's a give and take, right? I mean, her sweaters look fantastic in it, and the yarn really shines as well. But you may be wondering, I pulled out my Maris that I also knit, and this pattern is in it. So get back to the crux here. This is an explanation of reimagining top-down or set-in sleeves for top-down. I believe all of the patterns in here are top-down, but I was just telling Amy you wouldn't have to do a set-in or a top-down set-in sleeve on a top-down, like if you were knitting like you are your Cleoquint, and you got to where they said you should cast on the sleeves and work it from the bottom up and then join. You could also leave holes here and pick up and work the sleeves from the top down as well, which I've done on patterns.
Not on the Cleoquint, but that's a yoke sweater.
Okay, yeah.
But otherwise, yes.
Yep. And so I knit the Maris 3 years ago. I remember wearing it at a Stitches Midwest, so it was a similar time frame. I really like the lace motif that is in the front, and then it is mirrored in the back. I knit mine out of lace garn. This is another one of those very ephemeral yarns. It's back in my room, it looked like it was like I was going to look like Christmas, like it was crimson, and in this light it looks like pink. Yes. And then just we'll talk about the book in just a second, but something that I love about this sweater is that there's this like lacy motif here, and these actually serve as the buttonholes. So as it's styled on the mannequin here, and as I have it, it's kind of a top button open bottom. But you could also, because that lace motif, if you weren't wearing it or it was a little loose and you didn't like it, you could add buttons all up the front and button them in that lace motif. So there's a lot of flexibility too.
And also a lot of opportunity to button it wrong.
I have noticed that as well. If there aren't distinct holes, you can always put it in the wrong one. But I absolutely, in the grand tradition of lace weight things that I've knit and lace garn, I just absolutely love it. There's a nice little lace motif here. I believe I didn't make the sleeves bell as much as was written in the book, or is written in the pattern, and is written in the book. But yes, Elizabeth does a really good job in here of really breaking it down. So it's one of those things where you The diagrams, the diagrams are super helpful. I was going to mention that Amy Herzog would love it because there are measurements that you can then fit to what you need it to be, because she's got everything measured, including the depth here and around the arm and around the bust and around your natural waist, and sleeve circumference, sleeve length. All of that is listed for all of the patterns. There are 4 patterns in the book, and as I mentioned, there's kind of a lookbook in there, and then there's the smart stuff. So I don't know how much of this I want to show, but you kind of walk through how sleeve caps work, and why they fit people really well. There's really cool like infographics that show what, where you need more fabric and where you need less. There is, I was showing Amy, I really liked this infographic that kind of visually shows through the intensity of dots where your pickup ratio needs to be more dense than the rest of it. It's just it's a good resource for if you're really interested. And as I mentioned, I've done a lot of, they say that you're supposed to sew a sleeve in and work it from the bottom up, and I will pick up around the armhole. And using the math that you have in here, you'd be able to do that. It really guides you through. I think I just based mine off of sweaters that I had knit, like what ratio and how quickly you work back and forth to put the sleeve in place. But she's got it all broken down here for you. And then in addition to the lookbook and the smarty pants parts that make you feel like you know what you're doing when you read them, there are 4 sweater patterns. Sweaters?
There are more than 4? I thought it was...
Was it 4?
There's sans serif. Serif.
Yeah, sans serif. And then serif has, if you know about fonts, it has the pretty flourishes on it. Yep. Underwood. So that's 3. Maybe I was not counting Maris. There's Maris. That's 4. Maris. And copper plate 5. Ooh, 6. Goodness, I totally undersold it. Copper plate, which is an open-fronted cardie with kind of some embellishments, and then the Clarendon. I really like the split bottom on that one.
And that one's like a bulkier weight.
Yep, I believe that one's, I had my phone out. I believe that one is the Aran. I can't do the Quince math to know what every base is. So the Clarendon is Aran, I believe.
I was saying that the one I would probably make is, it seems like the most basic, but sans serif. I just think that you can make a yarn sing in something very basic like this. And then you could also make the buttons the focus of what you wanted to do there. And there are some details there.
Yeah.
Just the way that, just some simple details. So that would be my choice in the book.
Yeah. Sure. I like the Clarendon, and I also like the...
obviously the Maris.
Yes, that one got knit. And there's just tips interspliced as well, so like trying on as you go. I believe there was wrap and turn short rows. I think that if I were going to knit something out of here, I really like the Underwood. It has like these textured...
Yeah, and it's a squarish neck.
Yeah, which is unique. I don't have many square necks. Yep. And it's kind of got some side details as well. So a little panel on the edge. Again, you guys probably, I'm not leaning far enough forward for that, but you also won't be able to read any of the details that I shouldn't be revealing either. So to receive, thank you to Quince and Co. and Elizabeth for sending this to us. And to receive to win a digital copy, a chance to win a digital copy. Let us know. I really want to know what color of the yarn, so your favorite pattern, and then what color of the quince you would, so they're all written for a quince yarn, and what color you would pick. Because I'm all about the color choices lately. So
yeah, Sarah said you had to pick 2 colors.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. Color combos. Yeah. So yeah, and we'll get that out there, and we'll draw for that this month. And yep, go check it out. I highly recommend the book as something that you could have and flip through, use as a reference for those set-in sleeves if you're adding it because you like the way they fit you.
Or if you just really need a good reference when knitting. Like some people are just like, oh, dive in, you know, I'm going to figure it out as I go.
And rip it out 3 times.
And rip it out 3 times.
Yeah.
But some people are like, no, I need to like visualize it, you know, a nice schematic, some words about how things are done, why they're done. This is a good reference for that type of sleeve, for sure. And then once you learn that type of sleeve, it's pretty neat. It is a pretty neat sleeve to be able to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have, I've knit patterns and then I have those concepts in my head. And so then I can kind of, you know, you make things work for you, right? So this is kind of a very flat, straight out the side sleeve, but it's short. I like the way these sit on me. I like yoked ones if I'm going to be wearing like a bulkier shirt underneath, because when these fit very close to your shoulder, my bulky t-shirt here is kind of causing some fabric disruption up at the top of my, and I'm getting worn. Fabric disruption. But yes, I love that book. I'm so happy that they sent it to us, and congratulations to Elizabeth. I've loved her ever since I found the Maris on Quince and Co.'s website, and it's fun that she's explaining to the world why set-in sleeves from the top down work. What else? I hope to have tons of enabling next week.
Oh yes. For sure.
So many exciting, cool folks. I saw that that Leading Men Fiber Arts is going to have a bunch of your mom's bags, which is cool. That was cool to see that they were going to be at Stitches Midwest in their booth. And
I just paid an invoice for them. I should have said send yarn home with Megan. But they'll ship it before they leave for...
Yep.
And I'll probably get it while you guys are gallivanting, and so I'll just have something to... Like, see, I stole this from Stitches. You guys won't be able to see it because I bought it.
There's a lot of really, folks that we had at our retreat are attending, but also some folks that I don't, if it's their first or will be the first time that I've seen them. So it'll be exciting. If you want to go see all of the, a lot of the hashtag Stitches Midwest right now is a lot of the vendors with their prep and what they're bringing, and yeah, it's totally enabling me. I might get there and be like, no, I just want to talk to people and go into whatever, but I will be a better rested yarn princess.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to our market where I literally was a zombie. I feel like I was running on very little sleep. I was stressed out. And what I bought was only what I could eke in mentally. And now I'm just like, I'm going to be rested, and I'm going to have fun, and all I'm going to have all day to do is go and peruse, and I won't have to be worried about, being the retreat organizer. I can just go and buy. So, yeah, that might be dangerous, considering the stash that I own. I should do like a little inventory before I leave to give myself like some reality.
Just put some reins on that a little bit.
But it's fun every once in a while to turn yourself loose. I don't feel like I've gone crazy this...
I did at our retreat,
okay.
So I'm good. And And then I got enabled by some of our coupons that we gave away at the retreat.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I forgot that I had a coupon or a gift certificate to Leading Man Fiber Arts.
Oh.
So it's like, ooh, I got that yarn real cheap. It was wonderful.
Cool.
It's exciting. And I have lace on the mind, so I might be making another order from them. But we'll see. We'll see.
I've been knitting with a lot of my lighter weight stuff, and I still have a huge bin full of the heavier weight stuff, so.
Right, and I was thinking like, oh, I would really love to knit up my vacillate, or I would say my vacillate, but my yarn that is
Children's
the space. And vacillate comes to mind. And I'm like, oh man. But I've been so good about pulling things that are more than, a month old in my stash.
I really do like that the bases match, especially in something like this. So I think I may get some Sun Valley Fiber MCS to make another one of these, because I'm definitely Deja-Queuing this one up. I'm not going to go so far as to say 2016 will be the year of vacillate versus the year of Hitofude, but I do have plans to make a few of them.
Wow.
Just a few, not like 12. No, that's crazy. Who knits 12 of the same thing? Crazy people.
Crazy people.
That's
right.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, Ufta.